We start this evening on the heels of Saturday's false ICBM alarm in Hawaii. Residents across the islands are still in shock after a nuclear missile scare. Meanwhile, in North Korea, officials are holding a meeting with their southern neighbors to discuss the upcoming Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang. But some members of Congress say the accidental alert in Hawaii is a wake-up call to the White House on its North Korea policy. Manila Chan is following the story tonight and brings more. Manila?
Good evening, Ed. At least 1 million Hawaiians were falsely notified to take shelter from an incoming missile attack on Saturday morning. This as one worker clicked the wrong button during a routine procedure while on shift, and it took an unprecedented 38 minutes for officials to issue a correction to quell panic that spread through the islands. Brian Schatz, senator from Hawaii, issued this statement condemning the incident. He said, quote, "This incident exposed serious weaknesses in our state's emergency alert system that must be fixed. That's why I'm working closely with the FCC, including Chairman Ajit Pai and Commissioner Jessica Rosenworcel, to investigate the incident, identifying vulnerabilities in our system, and develop solutions and best practices for the federal government, states, and municipalities to make sure this never happens again. This system failed miserably. We need to improve it and get it right." However, outspoken Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard made her rounds on the Sunday talk shows and not only condemned the carelessness, but rather highlighted why this nuclear threat exists in the first place.
Learned a lesson from the decades of failed leadership that the people of Hawaii are paying the price for now, where they set these unrealistic preconditions. For example, saying, North Korea, we're only going to talk to you if you first get rid of your nuclear weapons. What would be the point of having a conversation if they get rid of their nuclear weapons? There'd be nothing to talk about at that point. But the second issue is understanding why North Korea has developed and is holding on so tightly to these nuclear weapons, because they see it as the only deterrent against the U.S. coming in and overthrowing the regime there. So that exists as a result, again, of our decades-long regime change war policies around the world, that North Korea is now in a position where Kim Jong-un is saying, no way, I'm not going to give up these nuclear weapons.
While Hawaiians were in panic mode on Saturday, the president issued these tweets mentioning Kim. He said, "The Wall Street Journal stated falsely that I said to them, quote, I have a good relationship with Kim Jong-un of North Korea. Obviously, I didn't say that. I said I'd have a good relationship with Kim Jong-un. A big difference. Fortunately, we now record conversations with reporters, and they knew exactly what I said and meant. They just wanted a story, fake news." The president took more than 24 hours, however, to issue his first public comments on the incident, saying the federal government would get involved, but gave Hawaiian officials credit for taking responsibility for the mistake. And now, as Hawaiian officials scramble to right this error, North Korea has agreed to send a delegation to the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang. Today's meeting was simply working-level talks, matters of planning and travel and things of that nature. No breakthrough conversations are expected to come out of this, nor has Pyongyang issued any statements in reference to Hawaii's false alarm as of yet. But Ed, the president also mentioned that he was working on why this nuclear threat exists in the first place, adding, quote, "We will see what happens with North Korea." Ed?
Okay, thanks, Manila.